Hello there. This is MD, with you here on Everything PS. Here we go again, we are in a new tutorial. In this tutorial, we are gonna talk about adjustment layers. If you're comfortable applying adjustments directly to an image, you may want to take things a step further by applying similar adjustments in a more flexible way as adjustment layers. You can use this image, which you can download from the links down below in the description box, to follow along. Over in the Layers panel, make sure you have the layer selected above which you want your adjustment layer, keeping in mind that an adjustment layer will affect all layers beneath it by default. I selected the top layer here, which contains a small photo of a bouquet. Now let's add an adjustment layer. One way to do that is to go to the bottom of the Layers panel and click this icon, the one that looks like a half black, half white circle. The menu that pops up contains many of the same adjustments that you can apply as a direct adjustment from the image menu at the top of the screen. But applying them from here as adjustment layers gives you more editing flexibility and protects your original photo from direct changes. I'm going to choose the black and white adjustment layer. That did two things. It automatically created a new layer in the Layers panel above the selected layer, and it opens the Properties panel. The layer that was created is a special kind of layer called an adjustment layer. It doesn't have any image content of its own. Instead, it applies its adjustments to content on the layers below it. So in this case, the content of all layers below this adjustment layer is now black and white in the image. In the Properties panel that opened, you'll find the controls for the adjustment layer. The controls change depending on what kind of adjustment layer is selected at the moment. For a black and white adjustment, you can use these controls to customize the color to black and white conversion. Each of these sliders will lighten or darken areas in the black and white that were a particular color in the color version. For example, to make everything that was yellow in the color image brighter in the black and white, drag the yellow slider to the right. And to make everything that was green in the color image darker in the black and white, drag the green slider to the left. When you're happy with the way things look in the image, close the Properties panel by clicking the double pointed arrow at the top right. The good news about an adjustment layer is that you can access those controls again anytime and make more changes. To do that, just make sure that the black and white adjustment layer is selected in the Layers panel and click the Properties panel icon again. If you don't see that icon in this Collapse panel, go up to the Window menu at the top of the screen and select Properties from there. You could just drag more sliders again, or if you're not sure which of the color range sliders corresponds to which part of the black and white image, let Photoshop figure that out for you by activating this targeting tool and then clicking on something in the image that you want to lighten or darken, like this flower. Drag to the left to darken, or to the right to lighten. Keep in mind that when you do that, you're changing not only the brightness of the object you clicked on the flower, you're also changing everything that was the same color in the color version of the image. To close the Properties panel, click the double pointed arrows. Now an adjustment layer affects everything beneath it in the Layers panel, so you can control what's affected by changing the stacking order of the adjustment layer in the Layers panel. For example, With the adjustment layer selected, click hold and drag it beneath the small bouquet layer. And now the small bouquet layer isn't affected by the black and white adjustment, and the small bouquet photo remains in color. When you save an image that has adjustment layers, open the Save As dialog box. Make sure that Layers is checked and double-check that you're saving in the Photoshop or PSD format. That's important because the Photoshop format retains layers, so your adjustment layers will be there for further editing the next time you open the image. And that isn't true if you save only in the JPEG format. So that's an introduction to adjustment layers. The most important points to remember for now are that using adjustment layers will protect your original images from direct changes and will help you to maximize your editing flexibility. And let's see what you learned to add an adjustment layer. Adjustment layers give you additional editing flexibility. They allow you to re-edit image adjustments you've made and protect your original image from direct changes. Try out a black and white adjustment layer to get a feel for how adjustment layers work. 1. In the Layers panel, select an image layer that you want to affect with the adjustment. 2. Go to the bottom of the Layers panel, click the Create New Filler Adjustment Layer icon, and select Black and White from the drop-down menu. A new adjustment layer will appear in the Layers panel above the image layer you selected. This adjustment layer will affect only the layers below it. The Properties panel opens automatically, displaying the controls for this adjustment. Different kinds of adjustment layers present different controls in the Properties panel. 3. With your black and white adjustment layer selected in the Layers panel, customize the way your image is converted from color to black and white by adjusting the controls in the Properties panel. 4. Experiment by adjusting the sliders. Click the double arrows at the top right of the Properties panel to close that panel when you're done. And now, here we go. We are done for today. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave your comment down below in the comments section. And if you are interested in Adobe After Effects, take a look at our second channel, Saskiano. See you next time.